Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to another top 5 episode. Yes, we've got a top 5 before a week's worth of top 5. Of course, I am going on holiday next Friday, so in that time, whilst I go away on our family vacation, I will be having a week's worth of World of Dummies and a week's worth of top 5s. But before then, we do have this top 5 episode. Now, this top 5 is, I like this top 5 because it is the top 5 free tanks. Yes, the top 5 tanks you were once able to get for free without paying a single penny. Now, the first one is a bit controversial, and a lot of the new people probably doesn't even know what actually happened with the M60. The M60 story. Now, no one still knows. To this day, no one knows, and no one will ever know why people were given the M60. So when the M60 was first introduced to the game, it was a free tank. It was one of the first collectible tanks, or one of the first tier 10 premium tanks in the game. If not, I think it was the first premium tank. Well, actually, it was enriched. It wasn't a premium, it's an enriched tank. Now, Wargaming just randomly gave these to players. Now, there was a criteria that you had to fit to actually get this tank, but Wargaming will not tell you what that criteria was. Of course, the rumor is you had to spend a certain amount of money in the game to get this tank, but that is not true, because I've known players that haven't spent hardly anything on the game and they got the tank, and I know players that have spent thousands in the game and didn't get the tank. So we have no idea why Wargaming decided to give this tank to people for free. Literally nothing. But of course, Wargaming have resold it. They've bought it back in crates. They've sold it again. So most people would have had to pay for the tank. But I'm one that did actually get the M60 for free. So I'm very grateful that I did get this for free, especially it being the first premium tank as such in tier 10. So moving on to the next tank, the next best tank that you were able to get for free, and we are going to look at the Pajeto 46. Now, this is one of my favorite tanks in the game. It's been one of my favorite tanks for a very long time. It's a really good tank. It's you've got this reborn camo, which is pretty good. You just had to get the camo, you had to win 50 battles in this tank to get the camo. So at that time, this was only a few months ago now, at that time, a lot of people were playing the Pajeto 46. Now, Wargaming did, I think it was it a YouTube event where you had to watch a certain amount of videos to get a certain amount of coins or whatever, and there was a few tanks that you could pick up. Now, the Pajeto 46 was one of them, and I'm pretty sure they have done another event or some sort where you was able to get the Pajeto 46 as well. Now, those of you that don't have the Pajeto 46, not to worry. I mean, it's a fantastic tank, but the Italian Pantera, the tech tree, is equally as good. If not stat wise, it is better. But this tank is still one of my loves. It's still a fantastic tank. Of course, it does have that auto reloading system as well. But yeah, it's always been one of my favorite tanks in the game, especially one of my favorite tier 8s. And now with this camo, I absolutely love the look of this camo. I think the camo looks fantastic. So yeah, it was a free tank. You were able to get it. Now, what I also love about the Pajeto, now some of you might not be aware, when this tank first came into the game, everything that was coming into the game at this time was turning into crates. So Wargaming before, years ago, there wasn't no crates. You never used to be able to get crates. But Wargaming introduced crates into the game. But this one you was able to buy for gold, and it was about 10,000 gold or something like that. But yeah, it was really good because I really liked the tank. I really enjoyed playing the tank, but I was never expecting to get the tank because it was going to be for crates. But no, Wargaming first straight in the store for gold, and it was like, wow, like what the hell? And that's when I got the tank. So I didn't get the tank for free, but I did pay the gold for it. Now, the same event, the same kind of YouTube event not the YouTube, well, yeah, the video event where you had to watch videos, you had to watch the live stream, sorry. This tank was also in that list, and again, this is probably one of the best premium tanks in the game, and you were able to get it for free. Of course, it is the Carnavan Action X. Now, I do run the Morpho camo because I do think this camo looks good, really, really good, but also the other camouflage. It's got 2 legendary camouflages. The other camouflage looks equally as good as well. But yeah, the Action X is always, and probably will always be, one of the best premium tanks in the game. People say it's OP. I don't think it's overpowered. I just think it is super, super strong. It's got a very nice turret, but of course it has weak points. Now, if it didn't have the hatch that it's got, if it didn't have the weak spot on top, because the hatch is actually really, really weak. If that was made smaller, then yeah, of course, I would be saying that this tank is completely overpowered. But as it is now, it is a super strong tank in the right situation. It's got good DPM. Of course, it's got the low damage, but it has higher rate of fire, and it's got good accuracy, aim time, speed, armor, everything, like, or turret armor, should I say. And yeah, to be able to get this tank for free was, yeah, really, really, really good. And especially those people that are free to play, that don't spend anything in the game, they were able just to watch YouTube, click on the link, watch YouTube, earn some coins or whatever it is, and you were able to get this tank for free. So yeah, one of the best tanks in the game that you were able to get without spending any money whatsoever. And that brings me on to the next tank. Now, again, just like some of the others, a lot of people probably wasn't around when the Helsin and the Dracula was first introduced into the game for Halloween. Now, of course, they were both completely broken. They were both completely broken. But what was good about this, it was, yes, they were completely broken. You were able to get them for nothing. You were able to get them for nothing at all. All you had to do was complete an event. It was like a kind of like a battle pass event as such, where you complete stages, and at the end you were able to select the Dracula, or you were able to select the Helsin. You had to choose one of them. You couldn't finish them both, but of course you could finish one for free and then pay for the other, which for a discount. So yeah, I chose the Dracula, so I actually got the Dracula for nothing, and I paid minimum price for the Helsin. And at the time, this was one of the most broken tanks in the game. We had no we had no Annihilators, we had no Smashers, and 2 of these in a platoon, or 2 Helsins in a platoon, was absolutely unstoppable. It really was. To be able to get this tank for nothing was really, really good. Now, ever since then, Wargaming have never really sold these tanks. They bring them back for crates every sort of October time, but they never just put these tanks in store for you to be able to get for gold. Of course, the only opportunity, or the only time you could really get this tank for gold, is the winter fair, the Blitz fair over Christmas. But these tanks go very, very quickly. When you see these tanks in the auction, they go almost immediately. They do go very, very, very quickly. So yeah, for me, to be able to get this tank for absolutely nothing was incredible. And it is a tank even now, after sort of 6 or 7 years, 7 years maybe, of getting the tank for free. I do still play this tank, and I still have a lot of fun playing that tank. So last up on my list is the Panzer IV-S. Now, as you've seen currently, or at the minute, I've literally just made a video a few days ago on this tank. Clearly, you can get this tank for free, because there is an event right now where you can get this tank for free. All you needed to do is log into the game for 10 days in a row. Get the subscription, go into the shop, get the subscription for free, and all you got to do is click on that, open the game, click on the subscription every single day for 10 days, and you will get this tank for free. And like I said in my video, with this tank, it is one of the best tanks in tier 6, without a doubt. It's got great DPM, it's got good armor, it's got just about everything. And with this Star Wars camo, I think this looks really, really good. Now, I'm not into Star Wars or anything like that, but I honestly think This camo suits it, suits the tank, and it does look really, really good. You can see that you can get bounces in the tank as well, but of course you can't really rely on those bounces, especially up against tier 7 tanks. Now there's an Emil there, don't really want to be in front of him, but luckily he only does a minimum amount of damage to me. So that is my top 5 tanks you could get for free, my top 5 free premium tanks. And let me know your top 5. Let me know your best tank, your best premium tank that you didn't pay for, whether that will be a friend that bought it or whether you've got it in an event or anything like that. Maybe you got lucky in a free crate. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm meadsy69 and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.